Yo, what's up guys? You got your boy Nandra here. Welcome to another video. So for this video, I'm playing some more Dshift. So when I woke up today, I woke up pretty late too, but when I woke up today, my quests were in exact order. Win 4 games as runecraft, win 5 matches, win 6 matches, get a standard chest ticket. And so the second I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get him play runecraft. So if you don't know, recently on Reddit, there's been like a boycott. I'm sorry. There's been a boycott on people versus Dshift. Like basically, like if you play like a turn 1 insight or something like that, and you're in like a high enough elo where people are actually like reading Reddit and whatnot, people are actually going to concede to you. That's like, I thought it was stupid. I honestly thought it was so stupid. Like just because like it doesn't like. It promotes a very defeatist mentality. When you have that mentality, you can't actually grow as a player. And I honestly thought people were joking. So I went ahead and tried it out. I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago. But no, people actually conceded to me if I did that. And at first, I was just playing this. I was just like, playing Dshift in unranked. This is similar to the deck I was using earlier, but like I said, there are many different variations of Dshift. But yeah, so today, like when I had to do it for ranked games, I was like, okay, let me go ahead and actually try it. Like, let me go ahead and see people will actually concede to me. Let's see, I had to play 6 games. I won all 6 games. I believe 3 of the people conceded to me. So 50% success rate, that's one. Well, I mean, granted, it's a small sample size, but that's pretty appalling that people would actually just go ahead and do that to me. I don't know, like, just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't seem worth it, but hey. So for the 3 games I'm going to show you guys, these are going to be the games of the people who did not concede. Now, for some of these games, my opponents did like things correctly. For some of them, they did not do things correctly. And then for one of them, like he got blown back because of what I did too. Because of what I did. Well, not like what he did, but what I did. Anyway, let's go and hop into the first game. So this game is versus Vengeance Blood. Well, I lied. It's not Vengeance Blood. It's Vengeance Jormungand Blood, which is a deck that I don't think is good. But I know that like some other people were playing it, so I know that's kind of popular right now. Again, I don't think the deck is good. I just don't. I feel like you not play Jormungand in a Vengeance Blood shell, but hey, that's just me. So I'm going first. I go ahead and toss up all 3 cards. Now, granted, I could and should have probably kept half of that hand. I should have kept the owl, and I probably should have kept the Gachimera. Keeping the Gachimera is on the off chance he's control, but I kind of want to just find things to play. And keeping the owl is because again, I know he's aggro. If he plays a 1-drop, I have to play it. I have to go ahead and just play up the owl, but he doesn't. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's not aggro. But no, when he plays with Spider Whip Imp, I'm like, oh, okay, well he's probably Vengeance, which is fine. Vengeance is a very scary matchup, but I have some things I can do in my hand, and that's good. Like, I have early points of interaction. So I'm just going to go ahead and Keglo his Imp, which is very annoying for him, because what he wants to do is he wants to be able to get down this Imp, so this way he can play Buffcore and protect it behind a ward. If he has it behind a ward, it makes it very difficult for me to get to it, which is why wards are pretty good when you're versus Dshift, and making sure they can get them out on your Evo turns. But here, when I realized that he's not gonna play a Blubble, I'm just like fuck it. I just go ahead and use the missile here. Like he's not gonna get another chance for quite some time in order to play it out. So here he's forced to hard cast the Buffcore. He goes down to 10, and here he makes a very smart play. The correct play here is to always pre-evo this Buffcore. Now in the past, sometimes this was a sketchy play, but I still think it's the best play. The reason why is because right now, Dshift players have largely dropped old Levi from their builds, so you no longer have to worry about, oh, I'm a mage who's as old as dirt, who just comes out, he evolves, he deals 7 damage to your creature, the creature dies, you feel bad. No, like now, the most we can get is, say, from an Evo creature, is say the Chimera, which does require them to have the Chimera in the hand pretty early, does require them to get a lot of boost on the Chimera, and also still requires them to use Evo points, or the combination of Magic Owl plus like say Wind Blast or something like that, but still that's still more than one card they're playing around. Or sorry, but that's still playing correctly on your end, just because you narrow the amount of outs that they need to have to something like kind of like fairly ridiculous. That's like a reasonable out for them. So here I just go ahead and go Fate's Hand. and I go ahead and I go Magic Owl. So I make the Magic Owl play here, and I go ahead and evolve it. So I make the play to set up for turns that I'm going to use next turn, because as you can see, I have a lot of things I can do next turn. However, I go ahead and use the Evo because I want to see if he's going to Evo into me. I think he will. And of course, I'm quickly proven correct, because he does in fact use the Evo to make a trade. You don't trade with Dshift. You don't. Like, I know it looks scary because you know you're at 10. I have a 4 attack creature in play, but you don't. Like, you don't need to do that. Like, there's no way I can Dshift you on 6. You don't need to be afraid about that. But here I just go ahead and use the Chimera, and I go ahead and trade. So now I'm in the driver's seat. He needs a lot of damage in order to be able to set up a kill. However, I actually could die to Dark General Evo plus Razor Claw into the second Dark General. But here he plays with the Jormungand. Now Jormungand, that's not a good card to play versus Dshift. Like, honestly, in my opinion, he either needed to flood out this turn or to not play something big. Playing something big versus Dshift that doesn't have Storm or doesn't do anything, that's not a winning line. Like, it's not, because you're not actually doing anything. Like, all you're doing is setting up a solitary target that can just go ahead and just, you know, play solitaire with you, and then just go ahead and kill the creature at the end of my turn. Which, as you'll see here, is basically what I do. If he had flooded out the board, it would have made it a lot more difficult for me to do certain things. But now I get to just, you know, just sit on my thumbs and just, you know, kind of go off. Yes, he does in fact get the Jormungand proc, but that's not good enough. Like, you need to have a lot of out-of-hand damage in order to, like, make me, like, terrified. But, like, your vengeance, like, I know you don't have that much damage. Now here he plays a Fang Serpent and a Urias, but, like, the damage is already done. Now all I need to do is find another 2 creatures to play, or just, you know, another 1 creature to play, so I can go ahead and set up this lethal. But when he plays with the Fang Serpent, it means I have to work a little bit harder. Now here I kind of brain fart. I wanted to clear this differently. I wanted to clear the Urias with the things, but this is fine too. It just means I have to use my Fire Embrace, which is fine. And I go ahead and I hold the Chimera. I need to hold the Chimera because the Chimera is going to be how I win this game. Here he plays up Belphegor, which is fine. I take 1 damage. Again, this is still fine. It's still fine because he doesn't, like, he didn't do anything aggressive. Like, the turn. Alright, so let's look at something for a second. It's been 2-3 turns since he played the Jormungand. How much damage has it done to me? Exactly 2 damage. That's not worth it. You're an aggressive deck. Like, you need to be, you know, setting up something faster. But I guarantee you, he just thought, okay, well, let me go ahead and play the biggest thing in my hand at the time. But that's not good. That's not good enough. Like, you needed to just, you know, go wild and just go wide. Like, going wide versus Dshift is usually pretty good, especially because I was down at Evo points. Like, there's only so much I can do to you without Evo points. If you had gone wide, there's a strong chance that things on your board get to stick. If those things on your board get to stick, that means you deal more damage than you did with those 2, like, Jormungand procs, which actually didn't do anything. Like, the only thing they did was, oh, you killed a 1/1 that had. Okay, cool, great. Alright, but this turn I just can't go off. So I do make some slight misplays here. I do have some slight ordering issues, I think. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so the first ordering issue was I was supposed to play out the Chimera, because I should have known that this turn was going to be a turn I was going to Dshift, but I was still trying to think about it all in my head, because I was under a lot of pressure, because I was still trying to think about, okay, how is it that I don't die to Dark General plus Razor Claw now? But I'm able to just barely pull it out. I'm able to set up a second shift, and then just go ahead and clock him in the face for 6, or sorry, not 6, for 8 this turn, and then shift him again for lethal. So again, like I said, like, the big so he only made, like, I guess, like, 1, like, slight misplay, but the slight misplay that he made, like, actually cost him the game. Like, on the turn where he had the 6 mana, the play there is always, you know, just, you know, like, play up multiple units there. Don't play the Jormungand. Playing Jormungand is a trap. That's a trap that you're going to set for yourself, that you're just going to get yourself baited into, and it's going to cost you the game. Like, if he had gone a little bit wider, granted, I did of course have, you know, 2 removal spells in hand, but that's not 3. Like, all of the damage that his deck does to me, all of that matters, because his deck is a deck that has the option to do Dark General plus Razor Claw. Dark General plus Razor Claw is 7 to 9 damage. That's a big number when you're a deck that doesn't heal. Alright, so for the next game, this game is going to be a game where my opponent lost, but he lost because I made a relevant mulligan. So I know a lot of people complain that like the Dshift can be like aggro and things like that, which is true. Like, well, sorry, let me clarify. Which is true to an extent that you can't that is in fact something that you can do now, just because like you have a lot of like pretty decent like mid-rangey tools that let you do it if you play differently. So as you'll see from this mulligan, I'm gonna go ahead and keep this entire hand. Now, let me clarify something. Do not keep this entire hand unless you are absolutely certain that they are not control blood. I only did this just because this was a ladder game. It's a ladder game. I know that right now, if people are falling tier list, I know that people are playing either aggro blood or they're playing vengeance blood. One of the two. If they're playing that means that this hand is godlike. As long as I can pick up relevant parts in order to cost reduce these down pretty early. If I guess wrong, I'm probably going to lose. That's fine. I pick up the second inside, I'm like, cool, this is great, this is amazing. He plays with Ambling Wraith, which just confirmed my theory that he was in fact aggro, which is fine, because that means I probably win this game. So here, I just go ahead and go Golem Assault. The plan is to probably play up this Guardian Golem on my turn 3, just because that means that if he wants to clear it, he has to either use a Razor Claw or he has to use a Snarling Chains. But if he doesn't have it, that's great for me. The other part of why that's good is because it means that I get the spell boost twice this turn, which means that I can set up playing these chimeras on turn 5. When I pick up the L, I'm like, cool, this is amazing. So now here he makes a little bit of a questionable play. He doesn't trade, which is fine, but this now means that I get to kill Jirius for free. He will have the option to EVA over this, but I definitely think I probably would have just, you know, done it this turn, but then it turns out that, oh, he was saving it for the Night Horde, which makes sense, because being able to get Night Horde value in this match is very, very crucial. Here, he makes a smart evolve, he evolves his 3-drop. You always want to try to evolve a creature that you know that can't be K-glowed, which in this case would be his Angel of the Word, which means that now I actually have to deal with that Angel of the Word, but as you can see from my hand, I have the God Draw. I don't actually need the shift in this game to kill him. I mean, like, it's preferable, but this is an aggressive match. I'm not gonna get the time to just, you know, sit on my ass and just, you know, like, cycle for cards and just, like, kill him and be like, ha, time for some real magic or anything like that. No, there will be no real magic here, except for what's about to happen to my opponent. I guarantee you he's probably like, oh my god, I got high rolled. When in reality, I actually mulligan for this the entire time. So I go ahead and I use my Magic Owl. I go ahead and I Chimera his 4-drop. I go ahead and trade. I go ahead and use a Wind Blast. And I go ahead and use second Chimera. So if you're wondering why I decided to clear everything, I decided to clear everything because on the off chance that he has a second Night Horde, this makes this awkward for me. Additionally, I didn't want to get Scarleted next turn, because that was the thing he could do. He could go ahead and bump into my Owl, use Scarlet, go ahead and EVA the Scarlet over the Chimera, because as you can see, my game plan is that, oh, I'm going to just beat him down. There's no time for shifts. Like, the only shift that will be happening is a shift from him to aggressor to defender. So here he goes off with the Urius. He evolves the Urius, which is fine, perfectly fine. He makes a trade. Then he plays out a Goblin, as well as a Curse Parent Vampire. So as you can see here, the few creatures in this deck that actually do play are actually better than anything he can do at the moment, which is a terrifying spot to be in when you're aggro, to have Dshift somehow be playing better creatures than you. But that's the unfortunate circumstance that I saw myself in now, because 1, I got to go first, and 2, I made a very, very smart mulligan. So here, you'll see me go ahead and misplay a little bit again, but yeah. So here I just continue going off. So now, if you can't see it, like, he's like 100% dead. Like, I don't really care about taking this 1 damage. I don't really care about taking this 1 damage because, 1, if you look at his hand, he can't actually go into vengeance next turn. Oh, I lied, he can technically go into vengeance, but he can technically go into vengeance, but he can't actually kill me because I'm at that safe spot. Here, he does play a second Night Horde, kills my dude. But as you can see here, he's in top deck mode. And I'm about to just, you know, I'm about to just take him to the cleaners. I have not one but 2 golem assaults that I can get cost reduces down to 1. So yeah, good luck dealing with 6 wards that all cost 1 when you're in top deck mode as aggro at 3 HP. Yeah. GG, well played. Yeah, for this one, like, as you can see, like, it's not like that, like, my opponent, like, made any, like, mistakes in particular. Like, he actually played amazing. It's just that, like, I played a little bit better, and I went ahead and I mulliganed it in a very aggressive fashion. Because ordinarily, a lot of times, I would have just, like, mulligan for the Dshift, just because, like, well, the Dshift's, you know, kind of how I win. But because the hand is that good, I can make assault, like, inference that, okay, well, he's probably going to be aggro. This hand is amazing versus aggro. And I just go ahead and keep it, and I'm able to take the win. So for this last game, this game is going to be a game that, again, like, my opponent made some, like, slight misplays, and those misplays cost them the game. So I really like showing you guys the misplays from, like, this perspective, as opposed to, like, showing it to you from, like, say, from the Dshift player's perspective, or as in what the Dshift player did wrong or whatever. Just because, like, you guys can see from my hand that, like, it's not that I had, like, the god draw or anything like that, because I know a lot of people, like, they just go, like, oh, well, the Dshift player, they're just gonna have an amazing hand, they're just gonna be, like, ridiculous, it's gonna be the best thing in the world, like, there's nothing I can do about it, because they're gonna have all the answers. That's not true. That's not true in the slightest. Granted, I have, in fact, been drawing well for the most part, but I haven't been drawing, you know, like, that well, like... Alright, so I go ahead and I keep the Giant Chimera. I keep the Giant Chimera because, like, Giant Chimera is actually a really good win con versus Shadow as a whole. Unless, of course, it's aggro Shadow, which isn't as common, but starting to, you know, pop back up a little bit in popularity. But I know that he's either atomy or he's mid-range. When he plays at the staircase, I now know, okay, well, he's atomy. So this is going to be kind of difficult to win, but it's still winnable. I did get to pick up the Commence Experiment, which is great, because this means I can get my turn through Fate's Hand if I want to, but I'm going to choose not to do that. I'm going to choose to go for the Concentration instead, because the Concentration will draw me more cards, which means I can accrue more spell boosts on multiple cards. And as well as also just, like, save the Fate's Hand for a rainy day later. So here he plays the Bone Chimera, and, like, oh, okay, well, it's just awkward, because I'm assuming that they just, like, didn't play 2-drop, and that this range is going to go, like, 2-drop atomy, which is terrifying, because I don't have a Wind Blast or anything like that. And here when he plays a Demon Eater, I'm like, shit, this is awful. Not like this. Not like this. But then, thankfully, he plays out a Soul Conversion, but it's not the end, because he can still draw a 1-drop. He draws the 1-drop, like, please no atomy. Holy shit, please no atomy. Clean. He didn't get the atomy. So here, this turn, I make questionable plays. There were a few different ways I could have done this turn. But I choose to just use the 1 Angelic Snipe here, just because if he plays a Bone Chimera later, I want to be able to kill it if he chooses not to evolve it. But yeah, so I just go ahead and, I believe I just go ahead and use the 2nd Snipe here, and I go ahead and evolve. So I use the 2nd Snipe here because I want to try to empty out my hand a little bit, so this way I can go ahead and use my Fates in the next turn and try to go off. Because I have a lot of cards in my hand that draw cards, so it's awkward. Unfortunately for me, he does have the Undraft list, but thankfully, he still hasn't drawn an enemy yet. Because if he had, I would probably die, because I haven't drawn a Fate's Hand, I haven't drawn a Fire Embrace. It's awkward. But fortunately for me, he's also not going off that well. But he's still atomy, he can still win, because all the damage his deck does to me is all relevant. So I go ahead and use Fate's Hand, I pick up some good stuff. Because for me, what matters is me getting to turn 9 and also finding a billion spell boosts. So I go ahead and I just use the Conjure Guardian here, or I go ahead and use the Golem Assault here, because what I milled won't actually matter. I mean, it will matter if it's like a Dshift or something like that, but I have the Giant Chimera. The Giant Chimera is all I need. I just need to put myself in a spot where I just can't die. I milled the Fire Embrace, which is actually awful. There are better things I could have milled, but unfortunately that was what I milled, which is, you know, it's fine, it happens. I pick up the 2nd Dshift and I just go ahead and draw. I don't Evo because all of his things are sticky. I don't want him to know what I'm doing. But here I get myself atomied, which is fine, because now I can finally deal with it, sort of. Not quite, but sort of. Thankfully, I win the 50-50, and my 1-drop gets destroyed, but then I just get Trop's Cursed anyway. I'm like, oh, okay. And here he plays another Attendant, as well as a Skull Beast. So now, if you can't really tell what's going on here, right now I'm in the danger zone. There's a very, very strong chance I die next turn, because right now he technically has 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has a chance to potentially have at least a solid, because I have to clear most of this, at least a solid like 18 to 19 shadows next turn. So if he did in fact pick up a second Demon Eater, or say Soul Conversion into the Tyrant, I'm gonna die here, because as you can see, if I take 3 damage, or if I take at least 3 damage, I'm in range of Tyrant. So I have to go ahead and clear a certain way. So here at this turn, I'm just gonna go concentration. I pick up the Owl. Picking up the Owl was huge, because now I can just go Chimera. Sorry, I can go Chimera, Eva the Chimera into the Atomy, and now he's at 17 shadows. But thankfully, I don't leave anything in play. It's important to not leave anything in play, because that means, sorry, he's at 18 shadows. I'm sorry, 18 shadows, which means that now he has to get exactly a sacrificial target plus the Atomy in order to win. So I can still lose here. I can 100% still lose. But we're going to see my opponent choke and do something stupid. So here he plays with the ceridwen into the Demon Eater. You always draw first, because, oh, look at that. He probably could have picked up the Tyrant there. Just saying. I'm just saying. Could have picked up the Tyrant there. Just saying. And here he throws away his win condition. So I guarantee you he probably thought, oh, Dshift can't possibly clear 5 units at once. They can't do that. It's just Dshift, man. It's just Dshift. They can't. It's Dshift. They can't do that. But he doesn't know that milled the Fire Embrace, so I still in his mind should have had at least 5 ounces. I still should have had 2 more Wind Blast, and then 3 more Fire Embraces. Now granted, we know that I only have 2 of each, but there's still a strong chance that I could and would have had these, but apparently he doesn't think so, or doesn't feel the same way, which is fine, because we take this. We're going to be able to abuse this, because now what that means is that I no longer have to worry about dying. Well, just yet anyway. And if I can in fact clear this board, I'm gonna be fine. So here I go Magic Owl. I believe I misplayed this. I think, I'm not sure. I don't remember. Oh no, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. All right, so I go ahead and I clear it. I go ahead and use the Dimension Shift. I use the Dimension Shift here because I can't kill him this turn. This is just gonna be a very, very defensive Dimension Shift. So here he just mills some cards, which is fine. It's great for me. And now this turn, I'm just gonna go ahead and play out the Giant Chimera, which was for a lot. Yeah, so it clears this whole board, puts him at 5 HP. So now he's on the back foot. He needs to clear. And here, when he has 29 shadows, like, oh, this is gonna be really unfortunate if it turns out he's actually like magically PTP, because that means I might die. But here he goes a little Soul Squasher into Tross Curse. I'm like, wow, okay. But now he's at 1. He's at 1. He can almost die. I can almost die. So it's very, very important that we both like don't do anything silly. So here I'm just gonna go ahead and go concentration. Playing the concentration here was always going to happen. It always needed to happen, because this way I go up 1 HP. Going up to 1 HP actually matters on the off chance I can't draw anything to clear off more of his board. I go ahead and play the Insight, just, do like D-shifty things. I go ahead and play the Kegler next. I go ahead and play the Fate's Hand, draw a little bit more. And now I go ahead and clear. So as you can see, I'm now out of range of anything he could do to me, which is great. It's a good spot to be at, and next turn I have the shift anyway, so he's gonna die. Here he plays up the Deathly Tyrant and has to trade to stay alive. A 13/13 has to trade into my 4/4 so he doesn't die. Hilarious. But he's still dead anyway. I just top decked the Magic Missile. I decided I'm not going to go ahead and BM. I'm just going to go ahead and go for the quick win. So the big thing about that game is that, one, my opponent drew last. That one was actually huge. I should have lost this game, because I guarantee you, I guarantee you that Tyrant was in his hand. And then he just drew it right after he played with the ceridwen, because sometimes sometimes when we play, when we have like a great top deck or something like that, we just kind of like tunnel vision on the top deck, and that kind of like affects our judgment, and we make like kind of like sloppy plays, and that's not good. It's why I know a lot of you guys who like know me on Discord ever will give me a lot of flack for saying this, but it's why when we play, why I advocate, you know, when your turn rolls around, for the first 30 seconds of that turn timer, just don't touch anything on your screen. Like, it's important to do that just so this way you can kind of like let the jubilation or like the excitement of like the miraculous top deck or whatever it is they think you're gonna do, kind of just, you know, kind of like hit you, but like, you know, wash off, and you can kind of like start formulating how better it is they're gonna go ahead and like play your turn. Like, because I guarantee you, again, I should have lost there. Like, he should have had the tyrant. He should have killed me anyway. I guarantee you that was one of the 2 cards he drew there. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, go and leave a like. Go and hit the subscribe button. I do plan to make a few more of these ultimately before I go ahead and make the metagaming discussion on Dshift as a whole. But I definitely like doing this. Before that, just so this way I can get like a better idea of what it is I'm gonna like say to you guys when I go ahead and make that video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.